You won't believe what went down in the locker room after the win against Getafe. A young Real Madrid player is furious with Xabi Alonso and might end up leaving in January. And there's more. The clash between Vinicius Jr. and the opposing coach exploded behind the scenes, with irony, provocation, and even a confrontation with Bellingham. And if you think that's all, get ready, because Real Madrid is facing a serious injury crisis ahead of the Champions League match against Juventus. There are key players who might not even make it to El Clasico. And on top of that, a goalkeeping legend gave the fans a huge scare. But we already have breaking updates about his condition. Stick with me, this is unmissable. But before I tell you everything that went down, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, my friend. This is daily content, straight to the point, and always filled with the passion of someone who lives Real Madrid like a religion. So hit the bell, smash the like button, and let's get to the news. You know that promising young talent, the one who was treated like a Brazilian gem and arrived at Real Madrid with all the hype? Yeah. Endrick Felipe is fed up. The atmosphere is tense, my friend. Endrick is already 100% recovered from the injury he had at the start of the season. But do you know how many minutes he played in the last 6 matches? 0. That's right, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And to make it worse, against Getafe, he thought he was going to come on, was called to warm up near the end of the match. And guess what? Xabi Alonso chose to bring on Brahim Diaz and even Gonzalo Garcia instead. The result? Endrick came back to the bench fuming, kicked a water bottle with force, and Alonso did not like that attitude at all. According to Cadena CR, that scene looked really bad behind the scenes. And with the dream of playing in the 2026 World Cup slipping further away, the kid is reportedly considering leaving Real Madrid in January. Marseille, from France, has already shown interest in taking the youngster on loan, and he's open to it. It would be a chance to get more minutes, more visibility, and come back strong to fight for a spot in the Brazilian national team. Endrick behind Mbappe and Gonzalo in the striker hierarchy at Real? No wonder he's frustrated. So Madridista fan, what do you think? Is Real Madrid wasting Endrick? Or is the kid overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this controversy is on fire, and I want to know your opinion. The atmosphere at the end of the match between Real Madrid and Getafe was extremely tense, marked by strong emotions both on and off the pitch. And once again, Vinicius Jr. found himself the center of a major controversy. Getafe's head coach, José Bordalas, did not hold back in his post-match comments. Clearly frustrated with the refereeing decisions and the sending off of 2 of his players, he directed his dissatisfaction squarely at the Brazilian forward. According to Bordalas, Vinicius simulated an aggression after contact with Alan Nyom, which resulted in a straight red card for the Getafe defender. The coach accused Real Madrid's number 7 of exaggerating his reaction, stating that the incident, at most, deserved a yellow card. But the tension didn't stop there. The situation escalated even further when Bordalas revealed that upon returning to the technical area after making a substitution, Vinicius approached him and sarcastically said, "Nice substitution, huh?" A clear provocation, according to the coach, at a moment when the match was still very much alive and the atmosphere already on edge. This action triggered an immediate response from Jude Bellingham, who also got involved in the confrontation. The Real Madrid midfielder approached Bordalas and exchanged words with the coach, who chose not to disclose the content of their conversation. However, he stated that he responded directly, asking the Englishman to focus on the game and avoid escalating the situation further. Despite the widespread frustration within the Getafe camp, there were those who took a more balanced stance. Fullback Alex Sanchez, who was also sent off in the final moments of the match, gave a much more measured statement after the game. In an interview with the show El Chiringuito, the player said that Vinicius did not provoke the team, and that he himself was responsible for the play that led to his dismissal. He admitted to making contact with the Brazilian and acknowledged his mistake, calling the episode a learning experience. These accounts highlight how Vinicius Jr.'s behavior continues to divide opinions in Spanish football. While some accuse him of provoking opponents with unnecessary gestures and attitudes, others see his actions as part of a competitive mindset and a bold playing style that constantly challenges opposing defenses, qualities that also make him one of the most targeted players on the field. The truth is, regardless of the controversy, Vinicius remains a key piece for Real Madrid. He not only creates imbalance in offensive plays, but also knows how to provoke reactions, within the rules, that often destabilize his opponents. And as long as that continues to bring results, few will question his importance to the team. In the end, while opponents complain and look for someone to blame, Vinicius Jr. keeps doing what he does best: deciding games, creating space, drawing defenders, and helping Real Madrid secure crucial victories, just like he did against Getafe. While all the expectations of the Madridista fanbase are focused on the long-awaited El Clasico against Barcelona, the reality is that before that, Real Madrid faces a true battle in the UEFA Champions League against the historic Juventus. And the problem lies not only in the opponent, but mainly in the current condition of the squad. The list of absences is long and concerning. Coach Xabi Alonso will have to deal with a high number of players unavailable due to injury and suspension in this European clash, which could compromise the team's overall performance. The defense, a sector that had been showing solidity and balance, is precisely where the problems are most severe. Starting with Ferland Mendy, who suffered a thigh muscle injury during the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. The French left-back has been sidelined since then, and although he has started the recovery process, there is still no confirmed date for his return to the pitch. Trent Alexander-Arnold, signed this season to strengthen the right side of the defense, also remains out. The Englishman suffered a thigh injury during the Champions League match against Marseille, and despite having resumed field training, his presence is practically ruled out for the game against Juventus. The expectation is that he will only be available for El Clasico. Another key player who will be unavailable is Dani Carvajal. The experienced right-back is out due to a muscular issue, and even if he were medically cleared, he wouldn't be able to play, as he is serving a suspension in the Champions League. He received a straight red card against Marseille and is still completing the 2-match suspension imposed by UEFA. Dean Huijsen, a promising young center-back, is also out. He suffered a muscle injury during the international break while playing for Spain's U21 national team and is still in the recovery phase. The coaching staff expects him to return only for the match against Barcelona. As for Antonio Rudiger, a defensive pillar of the team, the situation is even more delicate. The German center-back picked up an injury during international duty in September and, according to medical reports, will remain sidelined for a few more weeks. His absence represents a significant loss in aerial duels and defensive physical presence. In the case of David Alaba, the concern is more recent. The Austrian had to be substituted at halftime against Getafe after complaining of pain in his calf. He will undergo additional tests to determine the severity of the injury, but at the moment, he is considered doubtful for both the Champions League match and El Clasico. Closing the list is Dani Ceballos, who missed the last match due to muscle discomfort. There is a chance he could return against Juventus, but the decision will be made at the last minute after the medical staff evaluates him during training sessions. Given this scenario, the starting defense that will face Juventus will be completely patched up, relying on improvisation and players still in recovery rhythm. Xabi Alonso will face a major challenge: assembling a minimally reliable defensive system to contain an Italian team that, even in poor form, can still be dangerous in European competitions. The only good news in the midst of all these problems is the condition of Thibaut Courtois. The Belgian goalkeeper, who has been a decisive figure in recent matches, worried fans and the coaching staff when he showed signs of pain at the end of the game against Getafe. The image of the number 1 grabbing his leg set off alarms throughout the Santiago Bernabeu. However, according to journalist Javi Heraez from Cadena SER, Courtois' discomfort was only a minor bruise caused by a knock to the lower part of his leg. There is no muscle injury or any indication of a more serious issue. The The goalkeeper was examined in the locker room and has already been cleared to train normally with the squad. Despite this, there is still uncertainty over whether Xabi Alonso will choose to use him against Juventus or prefer to rest him entirely for El Clasico, considering the importance of the match against Barcelona and the risk of aggravating a still sensitive physical condition. In any case, the confirmation that Courtois will be available for El Clasico is a huge relief for the fans and the squad itself. His presence in goal provides security, leadership, and confidence in decisive moments. Facing a dangerous attack without the Belgian would be a massive risk, especially considering the fragile state of the defensive system. With that, Real Madrid heads into the Champions League round with a squad limited in numbers, but carrying the responsibility of maintaining the group lead and staying firm on the path toward the long-awaited 15th European title. If you enjoyed this complete rundown of everything happening behind the scenes at the biggest club in the world, then you already know. Subscribe to the channel now. Here you get daily content with emotion, with passion, and with all the craziness that comes with being a Real Madrid fan. Hit the bell, smash the like button, and drop a comment below. Who should be the starting striker? Endrick, Mbappe, or Gonzalo? And what about Vini? Was he over the top or just playing his game? This is Real Madrid until the end. See you in the next video. Hala Madrid.